for diagnostic. Just wanted to share that.
Yeah, that's a program called AutoAuth. That is $50 a year, and that will work with scan tools that are registered and certified with FCA Chrysler. So all the AUTEL tools are registered to be able to do that. There are more and more being added to that, but that is strictly on the diagnostic side. You cannot pull pins through that system.
Right.
I can't believe I'm advertising for a.
Sorry about that. That's not. I didn't mean that.
Hey, you know what? I'm here for you guys. That's what it's all about. So there's our cable right there.
Okay.
And then, so we're starting to see more and more, unfortunately, of systems that have some sort of security gateway. So the other one that we just recently released is the Nissan cable, and the Nissan cable is for the 2021 Nissan Sentra. I've actually had some people tell me a very late, mid to late 2020 has had a security gateway in it as well. So that is something also to consider. I'm going to take this down before somebody sees me helping them out.
Do you have the part number for the Nissan cable?
Let me see if I can get that one from IKS here. Crap. I think it's Nissan 1832, or NIS 1832. I'm going to confirm that on their website here. NIS 1832. Loser. All right, let's find it. And I think I just sent 40 of them to IKS as of like yesterday. All right, down here.
I know I'm actually waiting on a 12.8 cable from Flake from you guys. It's been back ordered for a couple weeks.
I should have 12.8 cables for them. Tell them to call me. I'll fix it.
Yeah, I'll get with Joe on Monday about it then.
I posted it on the chat box, the link too.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, you found it before I did. Good. So yeah, there's my there's the Nissan cable. So same idea. This just plugs in line with where the security gateway is, and then you're off and running. Really, the only thing we're seeing this on is the Nissan Sentra 2020 Plus at this time, and then that's going to expand, I am sure. Let's grab your link here, Brian.
Is that Versa also, the new Versa?
I haven't heard about the Versa yet. I wouldn't doubt it, but I haven't got that one for sure.
Okay.
Because I'm thinking more platforms are going to this in the Nissan lineup. Leo, did you just take a picture of the screen?
Yes. Is that okay?
Well, I wasn't smiling.
Okay. No, I'm just taking
I know, right?
the numbers. So I don't have to be writing too much. I'm a lazy guy. Sorry about that.
Oh, goodness. So, yes, those are the bypass cables that I would recommend.
Another question. On Fords, especially all Fords, when we replace computers, PCMs, and then we're trying to program the key, sometimes we get really hard times to go into reset parameters in order for it to take the key, especially like the remanufactured ones. Any ideas on that matter?
So from what I've been seeing on the Ford, and I'll let James answer that question probably more better than I am, but what I'm seeing on the Fords, especially on the older ones, the older Fords talk really slow. And our tools are talking very quickly. And a lot of times what happens is we're talking so fast that the car can't confirm that the key was programmed, and it'll say failed. But then you turn the key and it'll start the truck up. So I had a guy say it was like swinging a bat after the ball hits the catcher's glove is kind of what the response from the truck is. So I've not had any issues with that as far as programming keys to them. Just the tool says it failed because it doesn't get a positive response from the truck. And I'll let James take it from there.
For you're referring to the parameter reset when you replace the computer on the car. Is that correct, Leo?
Correct.
Okay. I've actually seen that myself. I can't speak for my entire team because I know that each one has different ones where it does pop up, others it does not. So I'm gonna be honest with you. Recently I had talked to customers that did replacements of the computers on Forge, which, a side note, they're kind of easy. I haven't had any issues, so I really can't say yes or no to that. To be honest with you, if you do come across that, give me a call.
All
You
right.
can ask my guys to say, hey, listen, I want to speak to James, and they'll get you to me.
Got it. Okay. Because I know
That way
that
I can do it together.
especially A1 Cardone. I mean, I'm in California, and A1 Cardone is a big manufacturer or remanufacturer for them. And I have got to go and wait the 10 minutes and then try to do it and do the parameter. And then it kicks me out. It does not start the car though. And I have done it over and over and over. And it finally kicks on.
Yeah.
So, but I always thought that it was the computer itself, not the tool. But I was wondering if somebody ran across into that and found a better way to do it.
Well, I mean, that's why I love coming to like these events. I love when like I work with Chad and stuff like that because I speak to a lot of people like yourself. Some people have successful. I even had customers call me back up. Hey, listen, I just wanted to let you know this is how I did it. And he goes, tell
Right.
everybody that you speak to. So yeah, I haven't experienced anything like that, but I can assure you, I definitely would like to, just so I could see how it's done and overcome and adapt like everybody else.
Right. Correct. Thank you.
You got it, Leo.
So Marty asked, can we use the brute force cable in place of the 12+8? Yeah, it doesn't matter. You can, as long as you can access that network, get on the high speed side, it doesn't matter what cable you use. Our 12+8, the diagnostic box, a brute force cable, all the same. You can use a back probe and an alligator clamp if you want to. And I just put a link in the chat box for a company called Evo Auto Pro. So these are guys that I've been working with, trying to get more content out into the world as far as how-to videos. So somebody had asked about videos. So we have videos on our YouTube channel, and we link a lot of those videos to other contributors that make videos. So we'll link those to our YouTube channel as well. And then Evo Auto Pro is an app that there is a cost to it, but it pays for itself very quickly, and they do a very good job of doing the ins and outs. And it's not just the AUTEL tools; it is other tools as well. So I would recommend checking out the Evo Auto Pro app. If there's any place to put a note in there, just tell them that AUTEL sent you, and they'll hook you up. They'll take good care of you on those.
Thank you.
Okay, so Marty, on your 1632 cable for Nissan, so it is possible to access that network. I actually had a locksmith that was hacking into the network on one of those. They were able to get access to it without the 1632 cable for Nissan. It was not easy, just because of having to jumper and back probe and get the high and low and all that kind of stuff. So it can be done, but for couple dollars, what is $32 on International Key Supply, save you an hour of trying to read a diagram. So I would recommend the 1632 for Nissan. I'll put that back on the screen for you. All right. So any other questions, or otherwise we should start talking again? Hi, Paul. Brute force cable sometimes is difficult to use because the gateway plug is facing away. Is there a better method? Sometimes I have to poke the needle through the, okay. There's always a better method than the brute force cable. I have never seen a need or a use for brute force cables just because of how they're set up, and there are so many better solutions in the industry. So the first one would be our Chrysler 12+8 cable, which works great on the new Dodges, the DT versions. It works great on the Durangos. And then the other one that I recommend is this guy here. This is from the diagnostic box. This is a TDB084. This one has the star connector right here. that star connector is built into it, and it's a radio frequency hub connection that goes in for like a Dodge Compass. So those are my recommendations when it comes to cables. I tried to convince AUTEL to make this cable, and they said, why should we make it? They already make it. So I recommend their product. Paul, I hope that helps you. I don't know if I can find that one on their website, though. Let me see if I can find that on IKS. Nope. Oh, look. There's a bundle promotion going on. If you guys didn't know, make sure you check out the bundle promotion.
How do we do that? We go to sales?
If you look over the chat box, there's a button that says offer.
Okay,
you can click on offer there. That will pull up the promotion that's going on. I'll go ahead and share all my screen as well. So that'll pull up this web page. $450 off a bundle, which has the IM608 Pro, KPA, screen protector, APB112, and G-Box 2. $400 off an IM608 Pro by itself. I don't know why you would do that. Go get the bundle and get everything with it all at the same time. And then $229 off of the IM508. Make sure you go to the website and click on it because you have to add it to the cart to see the pricing. I asked them to do that for my benefit, but you can see the value of this is over $4,500 for that bundle, and they are definitely not charging you $4,500 for that bundle. So make sure you check that out as well.
Can we buy things separately? Because I have everything but the J box.
So you don't have the J2534 box? I thought you said
that's the only one. No. I have. Is it the J box? Yeah, that's the only one I don't have.
Now you purchased the IM600, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that has a J box with it.
No, when I bought it,
that's the box you plug into the car.
It didn't have it when I bought it.
Oh, did you buy it used?
No, I bought it new, but it didn't have that part. I bought it before that came out.
So the IM600 has always had, from the very, very first one, a J2534 box. I think you might be talking about the XP400 Pro. That would be the upgraded key programming box.
Probably.
But the part that you plug into the car should be a bluish purple.
Yes.
And it says JVCI on the front of it.
Okay, so I'm talking about the red. Is it the for the Mercedes?
The G-Box 2?
G-Box 2. There you go.
Yeah.
This guy right here. That guy?
Right. Yes, that's the one I'm talking about. That's the one I'm using.
Okay, so yeah, that can be purchased separately. And if you click on G-Box, G-Box 2, on sale now, $112.
Right on.
And that will come with all the cables and connections and wires to be able to do all the Mercedes stuff. And it's used on other stuff too. It's used on BMW and some other of the European cars as well.
Right. Okay. Sounds good. Right. Thank you, guys.
You're welcome. Jimmy, Cameron, welcome to the room. If you got any questions, feel free to turn your mic on and we'll be happy to answer those for you. If you want to turn your camera on, you can look just as good as us. I mean, James did his hair today. Thank you, James.
Right? It helps.
Here are the promotions we were just talking about. For hanging out in the booth today, you guys get to have a prize, well, a chance to win a prize. $400 value for a roof-mounted monitor. This is an 8K video car monitor, so pretty cool stuff.
Good.
James, I'll let you answer the server issues.
All servers are working perfectly fine, so they're up and running right now. Should have no problem.
I have one quick question, and it may have already been asked before I got here. I'm kind of looking at buying the 508 versus the 608 due to the price and mainly due to the annual subscription that's required is so much higher on the 608. I just wondered if I get the 400 Pro, the XP 400 Pro to go along with that, if the 508 will be as effective working on the European cars as the 608.
Yep, Cameron, definitely it will. The 508 will have that. Once you put that in there, it opens up the European side of that tool, so you should be able to do those keys for those cars. So yes.
Great. Does the 508 also have the capability to, say you do the pre-diagnostic, to be able to email that or to put it in a PDF so you can show that to the customer if they have a problem?
Yes, it can. Definitely. 100%.
Great. That's one of the reasons I'm really interested in your product, is due to being able to diagnose before and after.
Of course. The pre and post
Yeah,
scan.
we call it pre-scan, post-scan. And you can, if you have a printer in your van, you can actually wirelessly print to your printer to have a hard copy, or you can email it directly off the tool to be able to send that to a customer. Absolutely.
Well, that sounds great. That was mainly my main question. And I also, well, there was another one. You know, X-Horse has come out with this deal to tap into the EEPROM chip without having to remove it. And I just wondered, does your product, is it going to have anything comparable to that, or are you going to have to take out that EEPROM chip, put it on a board, and then, you know, in order to read it? Is there?
To answer those questions, a majority of them, we give you an option to read the chips in circuit, but they're going to be, with our tool, there are some ones that you just can't read on circuit. It has to come off right now, at least for the foreseeable future. That's what we have.
I see. Okay. Well, thank you. I just thought that that would be a great feature if it would work effectively without, you know, not having to deal with soldering and all that.
Of course. I understand. Definitely. Well, we're trying to do it much easier for people who don't like soldering. We do our very best, but there's certain things that some of them are just not, it's unavoidable, at least in this business.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for your information. That's
No problem.
basically my main questions. Yeah.
No problem, sir. To answer the question about the printer, Chad's got a link is coming up in the chat, so you're gonna have it.
And actually, there's quite a few different videos on setting up the printer. So if you go to the AUTEL Tools YouTube channel, there are a lot of good videos on here. There's a couple of them with some really good looking guys in it. Make sure you check those out as well. But yes, there's a lot of good videos for setting up your printer. And actually, one of them deep dives into if the one that I just posted with Hiba doesn't take care of it, there's a second level that actually goes into your PC and sets up the different parameters in the PC if that is your block. So there's a lot of good information there.
Now, can you go back? You say that we can email from the scanner now, because we print. We have a network and print everything to a printer, but email has been greater lately with I bought a launch and we email everything to the customer and it makes it easier. But you said AUTEL can do that? I wasn't aware of that.
It can.
Okay.
Definitely.
Awesome. Mm-hmm.
I'm working on getting you the link right now, Leo.
There you go.
Awesome. Thanks.
Guys, one thing I found very useful in my brief time using the tool was the emo status scan. We get a lot of customers that come in with used vehicles they just purchased. They only have one key. And they want a copy, and we've been going out there and trying to make copies after we've cut the key and it's been unable to program. We couldn't figure it out. Dude, with that emo status scan, I just put that in before I even cut the key to make sure everything's good and clear, and was able to reset it from there and do the add a key all from that menu. So I want to say that's a great design by you guys,
Yes.
man. I find that to be a great benefit for me.
See, that's true.
100% I agree. The first things with our team, to give an example, with our team, let's say when you guys give us a call, when it's just like you need a little extra help, the first thing we do, we make sure all you have the latest updates, so that way we know the email status scan is on there, and then we take our customers to email status scan. So that way it's the first thing you see, clear the codes, and then you can just do the guided. So that's 100% of the time, 99% of the time, that's the way you want to do it. There's 1 or 2% that you have to do it manually. That's where we come in. But definitely, ImoStatusScan makes it easier.
Yeah, we're thinking about buying a second one to leave it at the shop as I'm taking this one out on the road. And I was telling my boss, I think the way I'm going to train everybody to use it is to start off there.
Yes.
To do that initially, because we are wasting a lot of stuff and a lot of time that I think you guys are helping us bypass and limit that waste.
Yes, definitely 100% is perfect. That's the best way to do it, especially when you have a new key programmer that's in your shop. It's the best way to show that person just to get the hang of things. Tell them to read the screens. That way you know what the steps are going to be. So pretty soon you won't need that guided. You'll be like, okay, I know where to go. Bop, 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 bop. Done. It'll be faster. Wait.
Brian, I hope that helps. So the second link I put in the box for you, Brian, that has the PC suite for an Apple or Mac. So that will let you print through your PC. But if you get to a point where you're just frustrated with it, make sure you call the tech support team. James and the guys can help you get that printer set up, whether it be on your PC or Mac, on the tablet, whatever it may be. That's what they're there for. That's why they get paid the big bucks. So make sure you call them and use them.
Right on. All right, guys. Thanks.
Thanks, Leo. Thanks for stopping by.
All right.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Real quick, I just want to say it out loud. Bill, no, not at this time. 608 cannot delete the immobilizers on the Volkswagen cars.
So, Bill, I'm going to give you a little background on that just so you know. So, we have a lot of licensing and a lot of agreements with OE manufacturers, which makes it so we cannot change things outside of factory parameters. That's why we can't change wheel size and put 40s on your Jeep. So, we have to stay within certain parameters of what we can do with our tools to be able to maintain our licensing. And deleting an immobilizer would definitely fall outside of that parameter. So, that is why we have not pursued that. We would much rather have our licensing than we would to let you delete a key out of a car and lose all that. Marty, I have no idea. CJD are the same, are the SGM and RF connections the same? What is CJD? What does that mean, Marty? Chrysler Dodge Jeep. RF connections the same. Oh, okay, maybe. So I don't know the answer to that for sure, because I know like on the Jeep Compass, that's a Fiat, and I don't know if the other Chryslers non-Fiat use that same connector. I'm not familiar with that one, so I can't say for sure.
Hello?
Hey, Ronald, how are you today, sir?
Good. How are you?
I am doing wonderful. I was trying to read and then I failed, so I'm going to let James take care of that Paul question. What kind of questions can we answer for you, Ronald?
I came in right around the time that you recommended two apps. One of them was an Evo, and the other one I didn't get to hear on time.
So the Evo app is a great resource for how-to videos, not just on the AUTEL tools, but also on a lot of other tools as well. And then I just recommended the AUTEL YouTube channel, AUTEL Tools on YouTube.
Oh,
and what we've done is we have kind of combed through the good old interwebs and found all the good videos using the IM tools and categorized them for the different applications so you can see some how-tos. So it's not all just me and James making videos. We use some other content creators as well.
Oh, okay, perfect. All right, thank you.
You're very welcome. Hector's coming in. Hey, Hector, what's going on today? Why are you working? It's Saturday.
Yeah, I work every day, man.
You got any questions for us, Hector? Anything we can answer for you?
I had bought your IM608, and I bought the bundle like you guys had on there, and it came with the G box and all that other stuff. Um, and then I had a Mercedes Sprinter van that it had a bladed key. And I called you guys, told me it was a soldering job. I was super nervous about that because I've never done that. I got it done. It was pretty easy. But then I had a problem where I think it was the record. It was at an auction. It said the programmer said it had a port that I programmed the key. It was procedure complete and all that other stuff. And when I got there, I guess on those Mercedes, man, it's supposed to release the steering column as soon as you put the key in the ignition. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
that's
It
correct.
didn't do that. So I, it didn't do that. So I didn't know if it was, but I had leashy the lock and had the right cuts and all that other stuff, and they had a mechanic there, and he ended up turning the ignition. But I mean, I think there was something else wrong with the van. So I'm not sure if it was just me. It was my first soldering job, so I was like, you know, doubting myself whether I did it right or
Don't.
not.
Don't. If you want, and I will tell you something that not even Chad knows, to be honest with you. The first time when we were doing the to learn how to do those cars, right? Those Sprinter cars. I was the first time. I was my first time. I had actually pulled out the device you had, the EIS that you had for that vehicle, the 906, and did it on bench to show our headquarters what it takes for it to get done. And I was nervous as well, but it was easy. And I'm sure you already know it was so easy, Hector. Once you get that in there and you add and you got to create that file and you add it back to the EIS, it's cake. And you probably did a great job on it. But my take on that, what you're describing to me, definitely something up was wrong with that Mercedes Sprinter van. It's not your job. I can promise you tell you that. Once you generate that file and you put it back into the 906, you're good to go.
Yeah, it was, and I was telling my wife, I was like, I don't know what I got myself into, man. So nervous, bro. But
You,
when it went through, it was a good feeling because then I took it back and you guys did a good job with the diagram, and I actually you know took a picture
yeah.
of it and blew it up, and when it was, and I was like, wow, I can actually do this. That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we do
Oh yeah.
cars and all that stuff, but Mercedes is what we're trying to get into, you know.
Yep.
So
Yep. I hear you.
I don't know, man. I like it, man. There's a lot of guys out there at those auctions. They go out there and they can't program. Then I bring that tool out and the car starts, and I'm like, okay, it's a
Don't
good
forget us.
feeling, man.
We're the other half of that tool.
Nah,
So if you get stuck out there, if you ever doubt yourself, just give me a call. I'm lonely. Give me
I
a
will,
call.
man. I
I'm
appreciate
sitting
it.
there 8 hours.
I think I've spoken to you before.
Probably. Probably. You sound familiar
Yeah. So
yourself.
we had a okay. So we had a, I don't know if you remember, but I think it might have been you. We had a
Hmm.
BMW, an '08 BMW,
Okay.
and it said it. You guys brought me through the prompt, and it says like 64 attempts to start, and it was a high security and had to go somewhere else.
So
You
what was
know,
the so
that could have.
yeah, I know that 64 attempts. That's the one thing that the 64 attempts is to help you generate the ISN code off that BMW. That's what it really comes down to. Does it work most of the time? 100% it does. There's like 1% that it doesn't, and then we could try other methods. Just longer with BMW
Okay,
and Volkswagens and Mercedes.
I think that was the only one that I got stuck on was that BMW because I've done other ones and I had no issues with it.
Yeah,
That's the only one I got stuck on. It was an '08 and it said it had a encrypted software or something like that.
yeah. InstaPay.
And I told the guy you probably have to go to BMW and order the key for it because I didn't
Yeah.
know, you know, where else to go from there. The tool kept saying it was going through the prompt, and then after it did that, it says failed. So I was like, oh wow.
That means it didn't capture the ISN code, the 32-bit code that it came out with. Next time it does that, I have to try again. I mean, sometimes it doesn't do it the first shot, so go back into it. You can't.
Mm.
That's the one thing with BMWs. They're plus plus. Like if you see CAS 3, CAS 4, plus plus automatically means to me and the guys that it's a secure CAS. And when it comes to secure CAS, that job's just a little bit harder to do. But don't give up because it'll get through. You just got to try again.
Okay, so it's actually possible to do it then.
It is possible, definitely, 100%. I know it can be done.
Cool,
I've
man.
seen it.
I appreciate it, bro.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. No problem. I think Chad stepped out of the room. Is there anyone else? A quick question there? I know Jimmy's been hanging out with us here, so.
I'm still here. I'm just eating. I figured
Yeah.
that you wanted to eat a salad.
There you go. I've been doing the same thing too.
Yeah, I'm still fairly new to the auto game. I've used the Auto Pro Pad and the Smart Pro so far, and then just recently got the IM 508, and just felt like it's superior to those on beginners for sure, kind of helping guide us through the process and explaining why some things aren't working. So it's definitely been a benefit for me, just kind of learning out and going through all the trials and errors. Thankfully, I haven't had to reach out to tech support much because I'm kind of a learn as I go type person, but I am grateful for all the background information that you guys have already put into the machine to kind of help guide us along and rule out any of the faults or anything like that. Again, I just say that would, in my opinion, would make your guys' tool a little bit superior to the other ones that I've used out there.
Jimmy, did you go over to the Auto Pro Pad booth and tell them that? Because that would be great if you could do that. Just get it over there and just let us know.
Well, I haven't actually used the G2 or the G2 Turbo, so I don't know if they've upped their game a little bit. So I'm not going to tell them that yet, but I've had told some of our suppliers who've recommended I get that one, said, well, I'm pretty happy with what I got so far. And especially for the price point, I think we're going to